So that Indian also is very important for that. Like if you know if you go and get care about the place, like but definitely for a thing like therefore separation would be definitely a short one. With like for separating leverage from even from day one on like back in like the human world itself, like it goes to going to like each and every single place that you will be going through, like whether it's role of like whether it's like this in like go for an outing with just like buddies like Chad and Orihime and all of them. Like he will be consistent. Ichigo good alone will be the consistent of like that. Ichigo alone will be consistently in the same gap so much. And I was think it would be like while Ichigo will be like a bit disturbed with like as good in the same as yeah, that I was different without much delay like one day. Like when Ichigo is technically it like I was think that Rukia would only come crashing into like Ichigo's room in like the middle of the night. It's like the scenario that I was reporting, and I'm just reporting a bunch of comedy. But like I'm just reporting like the scenario I'm just reporting as for like Ichigo and Rukia's reunion, and I'm just reporting two possibilities. One possibility is basically Rukia one day showing up and seeking Ichigo's help. Like I'm just reporting like something would be up in like the Soul Society. There might be some sort of like the issues in like the Soul Society happening, like which would have nothing to do with Ace. My personal impression right now is that like Asen making his return of creating any sort of trouble in like for the probably, but it should be only happening not any time soon. Like it will be preparing for something like that to only happen in like the very different future. So there will be still some other issues in that the society and like Rukia only showing up into like Ichigo's room and seeking Ichigo's help once again. So, like one copy that I'm talking and like that time like Rukia would be presently showing up presently under like the order of precisely gender side to precisely get like the help of like the Ryoka from like the human world. And this I might have assigned Rukia that one at that point. Like the possible scenario that I'm looking at. That way like Rukia coming to Ichigo's room and seeking Ichigo's help. That way like Ichigo and Rukia once again reuniting and then heading that along with like possibly once again along with like Chaz and like the others. And this time maybe like Tatsuki as well will be like joining along with them. So that like it wouldn't just be like a feel like a repeat of like the initial entrance to like the society. So like this like one possibility that I'm going to be like the second possibility that I'm going to be is like Arutya basically showing up to Ichigo only missing Arutya and coincidentally right then itself that Arutya basically Ichigo and Rukia once again meeting on but that would be only that being only so and only being basically like it only being part of like Rukia's like sole permission because like I think this such a scenario would be only a scenario in which like the modified Gigai of Rukia that basically Urahara had modified it into so that like it would slowly the Gigai of Rukia would be slowly turning into so that like because Kida will be slowly, I think, like getting modified to the point that Burkia will be slowly turning into like fully human. That whole strategy modification that Rahara in like the past had done to like Rukia's Giga, so that like Rukia will be trapped in like the human world. If basically that modified Giga Rukia had been like fixed back when Biography had showed up when taken possibly taken to their way. Then I'm also interpreting like the scenarios that other possible scenario would be like Arutya showing up to that part of as part of just her soldier permission. And that way like Arutya totally meeting up with like Ichigo as well. And basically during that mission, like basically Ichigo as well might be like joining Arutya during that mission. And so like during that mission of Arutya to possibly to console someone or like to fight some sort of like maybe during that or like it would be just like console someone. So like anyway during that mission of Rukia was supporting Rukia precisely being abducted by a horror and possibly be, and that horror not like taking the life of Rukia or like taking Rukia's soul, but like that horror precisely choose instead like choosing to like abduct Rukia and take forcefully taking Rukia away into like the world of horror like the other possible scenario that I'm also connecting. And if that scenario that usually gets played out, then it will considering that will be only the stealthy and secret one of Korahara. It's definitely my considering Korahara somehow like just managing to like to create such a scenario just so that like if that such a scenario will force people to head off to like the world that follows so that like through such a thing happening like basically Urahara and Yoroichi would be hoping that basically through Ichigo get in that way through by getting Ichigo into like the world of follows like eventually that whole that act of like Ichigo fighting off to like the world of follows probably eventually leading to Ichigo eventually having to like fight off against like Aizen and that eventually leading to like Ichigo that and Yoroichi as well as Urahara totally thinking that eventually Ichigo would be forced to fight off against Aizen and Ichigo might actually be able to like be the only person that they will replace the force of ever being able to like defeat Aizen and if that way possibly getting back and bringing back the cognitive from Jason all the way back to like the human world, which would be exactly what Kurahara as well as like Yoroichi would be currently wishing for and wanting so badly, desperately, and would be like that kind of ultimate goal right now to somehow get the cognitive from that Jason to from like the world of Horus back to like the human world. This will be currently like the ultimate goal of like both Yoroichi as well as Urahara. So like whatever next steps that Yoroichi or Urahara would be taking from this point would be definitely them like stealthily tricking Ichigo and like all of them and basically making all the steps just so in order to like eventually get uh Ichigo to like head off to like the world of Solos and possibly bring back the Hokage to like the world of humans. This definitely my attention to remember. Yes, so definitely my personal and working right now with Karen basically revealing to Ichigo that like Don Kanonji had basically shown up twice already while Ichigo was in the way. But the thing that right now they're only putting more of like the possibility of killer with Don Kanonji like showing up to Ichigo's home like the third time and precisely Ichigo totally getting trapped and no matter how much like Ichigo would be totally refusing to like go along with like Don Canoni's or goofy kind of like missions and goals like about different selfish missions and goals like so they all for totally for Don Canoni's own benefit for his spirit show and everything but like no matter how many times like Ichigo would be refusing to because Ichigo was like such a nice guy and was literally running like Don Kenoji forcefully taking Ichigo away and was literally Ichigo extremely reluctantly and hesitantly having to play along with whatever like this duty mission of like Don Kenoji, spirit mission of Don Kenoji will be and was literally that mission of Don Kenoji definitely as always like most likely involving some Apollo appearance and like a Apollo attack. It's also like a scenario that I was referring and in that Apollo attack maybe like Ichigo might like definitely Ichigo would have to like most likely save long energy during that follow attack. It's also like the scenario that I would different, but like I'm different that follow would be different and unique. It's also my consideration. That follow would see this strong and unique and that was different by Ichigo would be fighting off against that follow. Ichigo would be totally learning something brand new that Ichigo never knew about like follow. Like it would be totally learning something brand new about follow. It's also like the scenario that I'm different that critical information would have a major connection to agent basically currently in like the present right now being in like the world of followers and all that and is definitely my person and also to the that new information that is you learning about follow will also have like a major relevance to Ichigo currently as well kind of like in a way like how Aizen have his follow powers are the less so type of power within him using like the whole Ichigo as well having currently having the hollow side as well as the soul type of side to him. And definitely switching into my presentation that would be totally the result of like Urahara the conscious experiment on Ichigo to turn Ichigo into half hollow and half soul but especially during that training that Urahara had given to Ichigo, claiming that it was to turn Ichigo into a full-on soul breaker. Infecting another environment. So this half hollow part existing with Ichigo would have this unique hollows like appearance and hollows attack this that unique hollow that was departing for Ichigo to shortly fight against and through that fight that this critical information about that because about hollows that Ichigo would be learning which I'm also predicting would be having like a lot of relevance to Ichigo himself because Ichigo half of Ichigo being already being turned into it. So it's definitely my personal impression. So definitely my personal impression right now as well precisely Ichigo child as well Orihime was going missing around the same time while they had head off to the Soul Society and precisely Orihime even making the half use of a life She was like Tatsuki telling that she had gone off to meet her relatives, and especially since like the bond of friendship between like Tatsuki and since especially since like the bond of friendship between Tatsuki and Orihime is so strong, and especially since like Tatsuki knows by now totally knows that Orihime far too well, but they don't remember the lie of Orihime about like her having gone off to meet her relatives precisely around the same time that Ichigo as well as Chad has gone and thing like basically that lie will be like only getting like the real soon be getting like found out and it was like Tatsuki is like the scenario that I was referring and Tatsuki is going to like totally call them all out like the Orihime as well as like Chad and Ichigo on out on like basically them having left off and gone off somewhere together and that at that point I was referring like the three of them like being forced to basically reveal the truth to like Satsuki and that way Satsuki will be like learning of like and finding out about everything about like everything that had happened about the whole society and everything had happened and that has happened so far and there's also different experiences like Satsuki has like interest towards like fightings and martial arts and stuff like that like from a young age and was totally bringing Satsuki totally getting like seriously curious and interested with like this whole soul society and like the whole the whole adventures of Ichigo Chad and sort of that happened there and all the fighting and everything that happened there and everything. So that like I was remembering the next time, the very next time I was remembering when like Rukia most likely would be showing up to involved. Most likely, I'm leaning more towards about that it will be only in Rukia like the next time showing to up would be only showing up with like the news of like some sort of an issue happening in like those that is like the scenario, the next very next scenario that I'm leaning more towards the most here. So like at that point, I'm considering according to like the orders of I would be how like Rukia would be only telling Ichigo to like gather. Chat or him and all of them. So like I'm going to run precisely as they will be about to leave. I'm going to something like Tatsuki totally figuring out that basically once again like Ichigo and Kuro are basically heading off, most likely heading off to like the south side. So like definitely I'm considering before they or him and all of them Ichigo and Kuro will be able to like leave stealthily. I'm considering definitely Tatsuki Tatsuki totally figuring out to like plans and basically Tatsuki totally like possibly tagging along with them and basically like no matter how much like like each will be forced to take Tatsuki along with him at that point is definitely my birthday convention because like they would be able to like no matter what they, lie they would no matter what excuse or like what lie they were trying to make to not get Tatsuki to come along with them because like even though Tatsuki would be like a lot stronger in fighting than Orihime, but like so the sole reason would be that for like Ichigo and the others being scared for Tatsuki would be precisely because Tatsuki even though Tatsuki will be having high spiritual powers to be able to like see currently to be able to like see horrors like especially because like even Orihime has her spiritual powers and attacks of like the fairies. So spiritual powers of like the fairies, while Tatsuki has absolutely nothing. Like other than the tough martial arts, so like definitely because like all of them would be worried for like Japanese safety and they're only having it going through desperately doing everything to let Satsuki not come along with them to like also valley, but I'm also only having Satsuki being adamant about like going along coming along with like is going through that way Satsuki as well that time like strong coming along with like is going through to like is also very reflect the scenario that I'm delivering and I'm delivering maybe it could be during like some fight that will be taking place in like the Soul Society that at that point that basically such in such a scenario I'm delivering like even crew will be like forced to be split up during some sort of attack that or something to that will be taking place and at that point I'm delivering Tatsuki all by herself like being forced to like have face off against some strong opponent and that fight I'm also delivering like all of Satsuki's like martial arts techniques like totally failing against that villain. And like at that point will be when delivering Tatsuki finally discovering her like unique like soul reaper like maybe spiritual powers and like exactly like or may have like discovered and got her power of fairies like I'm delivering that is getting her own unique kind of like power upgrade and Tatsuki being able to like use her own kind of like unique kind of like attack it's like the scenario that I'm looking at and using that power upgrade and that discovered attacks like I'm delivering that the gate or dedicating that to them. It's like that that much is like also like a possible scenario that I'm looking at making and the vegetarian. also like definitely not looking there and Russian right now that like I told like basically on that period itself like basically on this period itself like basically Ichigo and Pro having like a new classmate like a new student like showing up all of out of that below this new mysterious student showing up to Ichigo's class and then referring it to like a female student and referring straight away as would be showing up to Ichigo's class like straight away chat and Ichigo like totally feeling some kind of like dark energy, like dark aura or like dark energy kind of like feelings out of that new student that will be showing up. And then was the current street that student would most likely be like a photo that would like actually shape shift into making itself look like a human. It's like the scenario that I'm considering. So like I'm considering that follow would be like and that would be like kind of like a easily powerful follow and then I'm considering that follow might have totally came to that very class of like Ichigo with like its precise target being like Ichigo. So like I'm considering like all sorts of situations like spiraling out of that point with like that mysterious female student like it would be like a secretly a follow in this case like showing up to as like this new student to like Ichigo's class. It's also like a possible possibility that happens is only for the and my personal rememberation. Okay, so let's name my personal rememberation right now. I've got like the range of four people like basically showing up casually like outside of like Ichigo's school. And the thing it would only have to do with like Renji totally feeling so extremely grateful towards like Ichigo that Renji might have not even been done like thanking Ichigo enough that basically Renji might have been empathetic enough to like basically be able to sense how much painful it might be for both Ichigo as well as the Rukia to like straight away just after like the whole scenario and like the situation in like the Soul Society being over giving this straight away as like Rukia like Renji might have felt that it was too soon for like Ichigo and that Ichigo and Rukia had parted ways like too soon that basically totally out of sheer and pure empathy towards like Ichigo and gratefulness towards like Ichigo as well as like empathy towards like Ichigo and Rukia like and Renji might have forcefully decided to like forcefully bring Rukia to like the world of humans and so that like they could all have like an outing like a fun outing. So precisely with this reason, Renji might have already showed up outside of like Ichigo's class. So definitely my presence remember. So like definitely Rukia might be like Renji might have told Rukia to like hide somewhere nearby to totally give Ichigo that corporation shock. Which is like the scenario that I'm considering like so like I'm considering precisely once like Ichigo would be like showing up to where Renji would be like I'm considering Renji totally shockingly given that surprise and Rukia will be present like right there and reporting like them to totally have like a fun outing with like a Renji chat Rukia Renji chat Orihime possibly Rhapsody as well as Ichigo as well. This much might be like the whole and Orihime like this much might be like the whole crew of like squad of that and those will be perfect like at that point we'll be having their whole fun outing definitely my positive memories. Also my vegetarian person that like the moment like Renji would be like meeting Tatsuki itself and also something like straight away like both Renji and Tatsuki won't be like getting along at all because of like the for Capra and personality and those are something like both Renji and Tatsuki would be precisely having such a spark between them like and the food always fighting and having spark between them would be like totally not at all getting along at all between them like with, both of them always like exchanging words like similar to like how Sanji and Zoro would be having their non-serious fights, like I'm personally not like having like such scenarios between like such sort of like a chemistry between like Renji and Tatsuki is like the scenario that I'm considering, but like that exactly which eventually would be like totally leading into like something like Renji and Tatsuki being a thing and them totally eventually forming like affectionate feelings toward like each other in like the distant future. It's also like a real serious possibility that I'm totally pressing for like the distant future. Okay, so like the name of the question right now was like Renji is totally in like an unusual manner, like I think extremely relaxed when Ichigo is like totally excited and basically like repeatedly asking Renji like covering up my theories that like goes like totally covering up with like absolute excitement and it's like curiosity like the possibility of like Rogia possibly being especially since relatives like especially Renji that has showed up like especially the possibility of Rogia possibly being Renji possibly having brought Rogia with him that would be the precise reason for like Ichigo regardless of Renji acting like totally like which would be like which would have totally made it part of his work Ichigo that basically Renji haven't showed up to the human world because like something was up with like Rukia because like Rukia has some sort of a trouble or anything. Exactly out of like a Renji's like a relaxed body language like it would be part of his work. Yet Ichigo being like totally excited and basically totally repeatedly questioning Renji as to like why Renji has showed up by and repeatedly asking that question to Renji would be precisely because of like Ichigo desperately wanting to know if like Renji has brought Rukia along with him. So like definitely my personal theory because like Ichigo would be like totally missing definitely genuinely badly missing Rukia and definitely Ichigo would be like so desperate to like and deep down we desperately wishing if like Rukia was Renji had brought Rukia with us. But like my personal theory, I'm just definitely for like the scenario in which that Renji would be only playing a trick on Rukia and I'm considering it to be like accordingly to not just Renji's plan, it's both Renji as well as Rukia's plan to like precisely trick Ichigo into like only thinking as if like Renji has came all by himself. So that's exactly what I'm considering. Like currently only tricking Ichigo and only telling Ichigo that like I just felt like basically showing up to up and watch and basically spending some time in like the human world. So like at that very mention from like a reveal from Renji itself, I'm also considering Ichigo deep down they extremely disappointed and that would even cause possibly for Ichigo to even be triggered. Like the disappointment would be causing Ichigo would be like acting the out this like disappointment in like maybe like an angry manner. It's like the scenario that I'm considering and delivering as like RNG and Ichigo will be like talking and will be like walking around and delivering out of the blue according to like RNG and Rukia's secret plan like Rukia would be making her surprise entry and like will be giving that surprise shock the shock to like Ichigo and of course delivering like Ichigo totally have like a funny reaction at that point. And at that point, Ichigo being like totally and fully relieved and totally being like genuinely full of joy at that point. And I'm preparing Ichigo and Nitya spending an entire say like having the outing along with like Renji, not just along with like Renji alone, but like I was preparing by then like Chat and Orihime. And even Tatsuki like would be like totally showing up as well, and they will be together having that outing. It's like the for a whole day. Like it's like the scenario that I was remembering and my personal impression. It's so like definitely new personal impression right now as for like if Renji is actually telling the truth to Ichigo as for like Renji being assigned to like precisely the Karakura town, precisely like the very exact town as Ichigo would be. And I'm considering Renji would be also lying about like him being precisely assigned exactly there but only and solely having to do with like Ichigo's high spiritual worship, which Ichigo's like only making all the time. I'm considering that to be like an absolute lie by Renji, certainly my consideration because like I'm considering like precisely to be like the precise reason for precisely Renji being assigned that precisely because like both Renji as well as Rukia might have been like after Ichigo left like both Renji as well as Rukia even though they might have done their absolute maximum to hide their true feelings, might have been genuinely badly missing Ichigo. And considering like Byakuya being like the common factor here with like Byakuya, Renji being like the direct lieutenant of Byakuya, that person lieutenant of Byakuya, and Rukia being Byakuya's like sister as well. Byakuya, my person is that the Byakuya being this common factor and considering Byakuya definitely might have been totally able to like easily read the minds of like both Rukia as well as Renji because like both Rukia as well as possibly Renji as well might be feeling so deeply bound that basically they wouldn't work and they would be totally viewing the Soul Society as like their absolute home, but like they would be also deep down they would be also feeling like that absolute missing of like Ichigo and would badly want to be with like Ichigo. So precisely because of this reason, like Byakuya might have been able to like raise their minds and Byakuya might have came up with like the perfect solution by precisely assigning not only Renji but I'm also something like Byakuya might have precisely also assigned Rukia as well. So, even though I think like Rukia is not like even when like the first time Rukia even showed up to Earth, like I think like Rukia wasn't part of like Bayaka's squad, but still I'm considering even if that's the case, then I'm thinking still Bakia might have totally used his like position as like the squad captain to like basically ensure that Rukia as well gets precisely assigned to have her job on like precisely ensuring like the safety of precisely and exactly Karakura town so that precisely like both Renji as well as Rukia would be able to like precisely spend a lot of time with like Ichigo and then return back to like the and simultaneously also be will be able to like spend time in like the Soul Society as well simultaneously. So like it might have been precisely Bhagya, might have been that precisely to that sheer empathy of Bhagya, like he might have empathy and love towards like both Rukia as well as like Renji that Bhagya has would be precisely Bhagya that might have played some role in like precisely Renji being assigned to like the Karakura town. In charge of like the Karakura town, which would be definitely to the hometown is definitely another thing to remember. So like I'm just preparing like that it would be definitely having a surprise and that would be that it's not just a ranger that has been assigned to like look after Karakura town, but also definitely a ranger as well would be definitely would have been like assigned with like the very same job as a ranger to like only both Ruki and Renji would have definitely been assigned to look after like the Karakura town. And I was debating most likely Ichigo finding that out either during like Ichigo's battle against like the Hollow or like after like Ichigo defeats like the Hollow in like Karakura town would be when I was delivering Araki out of the glow like only throwing up and giving Ichigo that as the surprise. Like the scenario that I was delivering and my person to remember too. So like definitely my person to remember right now after like defeating like the Hollow or like Ichigo like being extremely angry towards the Renji and shouting towards Renji telling telling Renji not to like come to like Ichigo school without a good reason, like that precise good reason, which like according to Ichigo, do precisely Rukia's return is that to like the human word is definitely my very and friendship because like from Ichigo's point of view, my looking very curious that like every time when Ichigo would be like even seeing Renji in like the human world, like Ichigo would be like totally tense and anxious of like the possibility of like Renji having like brought Rukia as well along with him. So like especially since like currently like Rukyo will be like Ichigo will be like totally genuinely believing that basically it's like RNG all by himself like showing up being shown up to like the human world like I'm wondering Ichigo will be like extremely disappointed that basically Rukia is not has not shown up along with RNG that like it will be like that's disappointment that Ichigo will be totally like expressing as like extreme anger towards like RNG and telling RNG to like never show up to like Ichigo school without a good reason. And that good reason that Ichigo will be hoping for, especially being like Rukia. It's definitely my book very impression. So like definitely my book very impression right now after like the upcoming championship, martial arts championship fight that's like basically coming up ahead for which like Tatsuki is like badly preparing for like desperately training and preparing for like and in that very final match of like that championship martial arts fight like I'm considering definitely like Tatsuki will be making it to like the very finals but like in that final battle I'm considering as Tatsuki would be fighting off against her opponent in like the final fight like I'm considering of likely for like mistakes follow, path to follow, to like probably for and then those different things, something to like totally happen like that totally like affecting like Tatsuki's like fight performance and was different not just for like Tatsuki either Tatsuki that ending up resulting in like Tatsuki losing against like that in that finals or like was different maybe that follow possibly even affecting showing up and resulting in like Tatsuki even being affected by that follow. So actually during that final championship fight is also like a scenario of like a possibility that I'm and precisely in that final championship master fight of Karthik and Berthapurning definitely and it won't be just Orihime that would be among like the audience like in attendance like definitely Ichigo Chad and Ishida definitely will be along with like in like attendance as well among the audience definitely although my work into the impression and I'm also bringing them all to like shockingly witness like this mysterious all of a sudden like showing up and abducting Katsuki and just like trying to escape just like that and them following after that follow and leading to some sort of like an issue or like a situation it's also like a possible possibility that I'm possibly totally bringing I'm looking to the direction. So like right now my pushing to the direction is also that like maybe in like the distant future once like Ichigo would be heading off to like the world of Hollow. At that point I was suffering most likely like it's along with like Ichigo's crew definitely Tatsuki possibly being along with like Ichigo Tatsuki and Orihime definitely and both suffering at that point as well being totally be part of the through that would be like at that point that would be heading off to like the world of Holland and there and those something maybe for like the scenario in which like eventually it's going through getting split up and basically eventually like this extremely powerful hollow basically attacking Orihime and like about to like totally attacking an Orihime and about to take the life of Orihime and by then I was different that to as well would be like would have like trained enough to like to reach like levels of power beyond just her martial arts exactly like how Orihime have fairy power, like Natsuki as well, getting her own unique kind of powers. And with that powers, Bowser was different, like has like this powerful ultimate power to follow would be about to take Orihime's life at that very last second, like Natsuki totally sacrificing her life to like totally protect Orihime. And that way, both differing maybe for like Natsuki and like the different teacher to actually die by the hands of that Christ column. And basically at that point, like, okay, it could be like such an extreme shock to Orihime, and at that point, like, Orihime getting that extreme power of their and Orihime's like fairy powers reaching like to new extreme levels of heights, and basically with that power, like, Orihime totally overpowering and defeating and taking the life of that was like follow is like the also like a possible scenario that I'm also really hoping for like the future. But like if that like the scenario that eventually happens, then like that the task to be totally always like starring would be starring like or him for like is like also like scenario that I'm going to bring and it taking like seriously long time for like or him to even be able to like recover from that death of like her best friend to be and have even having died protecting or him like if such a scenario even happens then about depending or to or after like after this stuff like or him would be extremely drowning in that extreme guilt that is of like or him feeling that she wasn't like that had to die solely due to like or him not be or him being incompetent not because only because of him wasn't strong for the sole reason that her best friend Hatsuki had to die protecting her. So like, or he might totally for a long time, like literally drowning in that extreme guilt for a long time. It's also like a possible that I'm different until eventually like maybe I'm just differing Ichigo possibly like pulling or him out of her darkness and that dark guilt drowning state. Eventually, he may like surviving out of that. Like, maybe it might not be Ichigo, maybe it might be because Ichigo that to be like pulling or he may out of that extreme dark and guilt drowning state and finally like brightening up for him and like finally or he may overcoming that trauma may be precisely through Ishida maybe like the distant future and maybe at that point could be when like Ishida and Orihime will be Ishida maybe even building the courage to like after soon after that maybe like Ishida maybe would be when like Ishida even expressing his like uh, building up the courage to express his like position towards like for him and that way like slowly like overcoming like guilt extreme guilt and sadness of like of Katsuki through Ishida and like Ishida and Orihime so like the cleaner is very interesting right now that like when Yorochi was had gone away with like Jivan through like the Soul Society back then itself I'm considering Urahara might have been like secretly planning something big something so big that like Urahara currently might be even lying to Yorochi about like just being like nothing to be excited about and just being like some like spiritual pressure disturbance is definitely my passenger emerges like but to bring like that Urahara might have definitely been conducting some sort of like extremely serious and important experiment precisely while Yorochi might have been aware with like Ichigo and to like the soul society to get Rukia back. That's definitely my passenger emersion and it might be the precise reason for like that experiment might be the precise reason for like all the spiritual disturbance that basically for Hara like even talking about that all that unnaturality that Yorochi is even sensing after like returning back from that town was definitely my personal impression. So like exactly that precise ultimate secret experiment of Orahara that I'm remembering like it would totally have to do with like Orahara most likely it have to do with like Orahara's backup plan because like even while Orahara might have like done everything he could to like basically get Ichigo as strong as possible by precisely turning Ichigo by suddenly tricking Ichigo and in the name of turning Ichigo into like a soul reaper and giving that training of like and a stealthy experiment kind of training for Ichigo with like the conscious intent with which like Urahara might have given that training to Ichigo and turned Ichigo into like and ensured that Ichigo turned into like half soul reaper as well as half hollow. It's definitely a very good So that way like Ichigo won't be limited by like the five fighting method. The limitations of like the fighting method won't be like affecting Ichigo alone at all. And this might all be like definitely what are of like conscious intent to like turn Ichigo into such a manner so that like Ichigo would be able to like definitely defeat all the villains in like head of to like the even while Ichigo Urahara at that point would have only trained Ichigo to like being a on even while Ichigo back then might have Urahara back then might have only got the time to like actually train and strengthen Ichigo to reach that the levels of only a neutral. Still, Urahara's only might have been totally believing and totally trusting, and maybe not just Urahara but also Yoroichi might have all totally placing their whole belief and trust on this precise element of Ichigo. After that precise Soul Reaper training, that Ichigo had turned into like half Soul Reaper as well as half Solo, and even while Ichigo didn't realize it, like it might have been precisely something that both Urahara as well as like not just Urahara but like Orochi as well might have been well aware of it. So it might be like that ultimate factor in which like both Urahara as well as Orochi might have placed their absolute faith and trust in that like this factor alone, like that Ichigo is like half Hollow and half Soul Breaker. Half Ichigo have been turned into half Hollow and half Soul Breaker. This factor alone would be like allowing Ichigo to like basically bring yeah back to like the human world. Might have been like that absolute trust in which like Yoroichi might have sent Ichigo out to along with like Yoroichi and Yoroichi even believed in Ichigo and went along with Ichigo to like the world of to like the society to bring Rukia back. Especially my personal impression. But yet like even then like after like Yoroichi might have left with like Ichigo and Fruit like the society. Even then like Urahara might have even thought like even far ahead to like even Urahara might have only thought of even like the possibility that even after doing all this like Ichigo's like mission being like a failure that basically Orahara might have even thought of like the possibility of like basically even if like of like either even if like Rukia Ichigo succeeds in like bringing Rukia back like even before like that like someone like stealing the Hogyu from Rukia like uh, Urahara might have also considered and foreseen such a scenario as well, which is like the present scenario in which like definitely like the Pokemon have been like returned back to like the human world, which would be like the only goal of Urahara at all. If definitely my present remember. So like considering like this future possible scenario, like basically Urahara might have definitely done some sort of like a backup experiment, and it would be precisely due to like that precise backup experiment that essentially Urahara might have essentially started like the moment Yoroichi might have left along with to go to through the portal to the Soul Society itself, like Urahara might have started this like backup experiment, and it will be precisely due to like the progress of Urahara in this like secret, this exact secret backup experiment will be like the precise reason for like Yoroichi currently in like the present after returning back to like the human world, like feeling something unnatural about that very town, and basically it's definitely my personal impression. Like, so Urahara, that experiment, secret experiment of Urahara might be so extreme that basically Urahara might have also decided to like keep the information about that secret experiment of Urahara, even a secret from even his own best pal, Yoroichi as well. It's definitely my personal impression. So like I'm still Yoroichi eventually figuring it out. But like by the time like Yorichi would be figuring out about the secret experiment of Orahara and considering it would be too late and Orahara would have already completed his like by then. It's like the scenario that I'm considering or the my personal impression. So like definitely my personal impression right now is that like basically the precise reason for chat like naturally possessing such exceptional strength like I'm considering even chat currently would be totally thinking that basically the precise reason of like the truth as well as why people with all that strength might definitely lie within chat itself. The reason might exist within chat itself, and in order for chat to be able to like explore and find out that absolute truth that basically might have been lying this entire time within chat, like basically chat might have realized by now after like spending time for like the first time in like the Soul Society and facing like opponents like that are like far superiorly stronger than like the whole that Chad has fought on Earth. Like, considering Chad might have realized that in order for him to be able to like explore more inwards and find out that absolute truth as well, like the precise reason why Chad has such exceptional power. Like Chad would have to fight all sorts of exceptionally strong enemies, like the ones in like the world of like the Soul Society, and maybe even enemies that are even stronger than that. Like Chad would have like potential through such extreme risky and dangerous situation and face off and fight off against such extremely strong fighters in order for Chad to be able to like discover the truth about himself as well why he has such an naturally possessed such exceptional power. This definitely my talking to Ramesh, and this might be something that Chad might have precisely and exactly realized like while fighting off precisely against Kyorako in like the Soul Society. It's definitely my talking to Ramesh. It might be precisely during that fight that basically Chad finally Chad initially stood absolutely no chance at all against, wasn't able to do anything at all against like Yorako. That final attack of Chad that basically Chad pulled through and pulled out of his like extreme memories and emotions and everything. Basically, that moment might be like the moment where like Chad might have been able to like realize that basically the truth, like that absolute truth, basically lies within Chad. And it might be at that point that Chad realized that he needs to push himself even harder and further to get into trying to get even more stronger by facing all sorts of extremely strong enemies like Kyorako or even smaller than Kyorako for him to like the first that ultimate role. This is definitely not those interior impression. Okay, so like definitely not those interior impression right now with like this disappointment might have like a bit of similarity to like or his like current disappointment as well. It's definitely not those interior impression because like both so the all three of them, like Chad, Orihime, as well as like as well as Ishida might have realized that that after like entering into like the soul society and they really after like having the fought off against all sorts of villains like strong opponents and everything, they might have realized that basically it's not just basically like the human word alone, like the word of the humans alone that like have like troubles and issues, but like the soul society as well is like an extremely is going through all sorts of troubles and all sorts of villains and all sorts of problems. Like it might be after like entering like the soul society that like the three of them like chat for humanity that might have realized that like the whole of causing troubles in like the human world is like the issues caused by like the human world in like the whole were like minuscule compared to like the extreme issues caused in like the social society by these all these great number of villains is definitely my positive impression. So my positive impression is that like at that point I was departing like both all three of like chat or him as well as Ishida might have realized that basically them having like higher spiritual high spiritual powers and energy was like the sole reason like that they were even able to like go enter like soul society and currently right now I'm considering it wouldn't just be like or him wanting to like be of use to Ichigo alone like there would be like even more to that like all three of them chat or him as well as Ishida would be like only genuinely wanting for the three of them to like not only to for the three of them to just be of help to like Ichigo alone, but like for the three of them to genuinely wanting to like be of help to like both the human world as well as like the whole society as well. Because like eventually they might have even though initially like even until like the very end the three of them chat or him as well as like chat or him as well as even Ichigo had like such poor or like bad experience from like the people from like the soul society still towards the end when everything was sorted out like they might have totally realized that basically they need to like use like the fact that they have got the gift of like processing high spiritual pressure than like the normal humans from like the human world like basically they have to put it into good use into for like the help of they have to put it into like good use to like basically precisely help not just the humans from like the human world from like the horrors which they might have initially thought before heading off to like the soul society, but now they might and then the three of them might be of like the mindset that they have to like they have even more important and relevant task up ahead, and that will be precisely to like ensure like not just the safety of like the humans in like the human world, but also like of like the all the soul reapers and everyone in like the soul society as well. They have to put that high spiritual energy of them. Yes, and they have to like desperately develop their spiritual energies and powers to as much as they can so that like they could help not just the humans but also like the people in the core and also people in like the soul society as well from all the darkness and villains that would be like present that would like eventually like threaten like be threatening like the soul society again. It would be along the lines in which like Ishida would be like thinking Ishida or Himan Chad would be thinking certainly not doesn't fit. Hence why precisely Orihime would be like even someone like Orihime like really even deciding to like not sleep and like even staying in like the middle of the night and basically even training in like the middle of the night like not only Orihime but like Chad as well like even while Chad would be like thing that basically the truth to why his power lies within basically would be like that truth would be lying within him. Like I'm also probably like even unconsciously Chad might be able to like sense that basically it's definitely that the fact that Chad has naturally has such exceptional powers would totally have to do with like would definitely have a connection to like him being what him having to like use that power for like the protection of like the poor and innocent both for like everyone, both in like the human as well as like now after entering like soul society world, like basically for like the protection of like the people in like the soul society as well. It's definitely members in the impression. So like but like it would be only like in like the case of Ishidai alone that Ishidai alone would be like extremely disappointed in his like current state or like current situation where like Ishida would be totally feeling that like in the case of Orihime as well as Chad, like they could at least work on their powers and work on developing their powers. But like in the case of Ishida, solely after like Ishida's fight against like Mayuri solely because like Ishida wanted to like protect like the enemy like basically even though Ishida might not regret it that basically even though Ishida might be feeling good deep down that basically even though the lieutenant of Mayuri was like the enemy still Ishida, well, since like Ishida might have been totally able to sense like goodness and innocence within her, like basically Ishida might be feeling good about like even through like throwing away all of his like spiritual abilities and powers, he was still able to like succeed in like protecting her. Still, Ishida would be also having that other side of regret where like in like the person where like Ishida is faced with like the reality of like the situation where like what Ishida would be believing is that the reality of the situation, or like Ishida would be only believing that like he would never be able to like get back his like 20 powers again. Yet like he after like going through like the source of the entirety of like the source society, like basically Ishida having realized the truth about all the darkness that exists, extreme villainous that exists within like the world of source society that far surpasses like the dangers posed to like the human world. Even after realizing all this, like Ishida would be like currently feeling as like feeling so weird and strange that basically Ishida without having any Quincy powers won't be able to like do anything to like to help out with like the protection of like the I currently with like the protection of neither the humans nor like the souls in like the soul society as well. So like that would be what like Ishida would be currently totally feeling as like extremely finding it extremely strange that after knowing and realizing all this truth and about all these extreme dangers that could lie both in like the human and like the soul society. Like Ishida is currently in a situation where like Ishida won't be able to without his access to his twin powers, Ishida won't be able to like do anything at all. So basically Ishida would be totally finding it strange that basically how as to like and confused as to like how he could like keep his like ears and eyes closed to like all this like injustice and all this like dangers and everything that's happening across around him while because him not being able to do anything about it because him lacking like 20 power, which would be what like Ishida would be currently finding it like extremely strange, even more strange than like for or him feeling that she wasn't able to help Ichigo out and all that is definitely my position. So like I was wondering, definitely he should eventually get his like to get his like 20 powers back. And I was wondering most likely it would be like specifically my impression it will be most likely in like a situation where like or him most likely would be under the threat of like having taken her life off by like a whole of just like a scenario that I'm developing, which would be like most likely the scenario is like it should only like that situation be forcing it should to be able to like have get access back and be able to like bring back and get back to the like 20 powers back. And at that point, it straight away as it gets back to the powers, it would be like stronger than he would have ever imagined. This definitely person to remember. It would be way stronger than before when he had its like the powers. It also definitely person to and prediction. And in the case of Orihime, even though Orihime currently would be extremely disappointed that basically she wasn't able to like in the Orihime currently would be feeling that she had been more of a burden and wasn't rather than even being able to like, be of any help to like Ichigo and through in like society. Yet members differing like the next time members differing Orihime would be able to be of help to like someone would be exactly like both differing would be like a repeat of like the scenario or like situation that had happened in like the past with like Tatsuki getting into trouble with like the hollows and or him that way discovering her territories and was different similar specific to my person version of like a similar scenario certainly during like this like important championship martial arts like competition that Tatsuki will be having in like the final round in which like the hollow will be appearing and like attacking most likely attacking Tatsuki in which like definitely was differing finally once again like Otome would be able to be of help to like someone else especially Tatsuki again and at that point, Orihime would be definitely getting a power upgrade, a fairy power getting like a power upgrade. It feels like Orihime would most likely protecting Sasuke. But in the case of like her wanting to be of help to Ichigo, I'm preparing that such a scenario I'm preparing to only happen in like the very distant future, where like I'm preparing it would be in like the very distant future where like Ichigo because of some unfavorable situation would be badly injured and like would be in like such a dangerous situation where like Ichigo would be about to die by a villain or like a hollow. And it would be at that point I'm preparing actually finally Orihime would be getting her wish to be of help to be of help to precisely Ichigo by or him probably uh, having some sort of a next power upgrade at that point, and with that power upgrade, or him being able to like protect Ichigo. And that way, like or him at that point, at least like or him finally being like fully convinced that at least he was able to be of help to Ichigo as well. So definitely a scenario that I'm definitely preparing for like the very distant future. So like that naming information right now as for like what I can like robot showing up to her home right now. So they're totally working it would definitely be like since like Orihime was like totally thinking of like brother brother as well as Rukia's brother like the bond of like brother to a sister like basically since Orihime was like filled with the thoughts of her brother like basically about preparing like Orihime might be like hallucinating and like definitely like there will be absolutely no one like basically it would be just like literally Orihime's brother showing up in front of Orihime's home would be like just Orihime hallucinating. It's like my person during impression. Yeah, so like definitely my person during impression right now is that like since like Orihime's brother who had turned into a follower has already like the past had tricked Orihime into thinking that it was not a follower. That basically he's like actually Orihime's brother by or taking by I think like taking like Orihime's brother to like human form and that bit is getting as like okay, let's go like actual human form brother like and for instance like such a thing has already been done by like Orhinus brother who had turned into a following like the past and considering currently like the Orhinus brother that basically is that is in Orhinus form would be the or would be totally Orhinus just hallucinating and nothing else with the name of the and precisely as well like the follow uh, phone call for Renji and bring the photo would be like at some totally different location and wouldn't be that would have nothing to do with like working and hallucinating and seeing like uh Orkime's brother in her phone. It's definitely my personal impression. Okay, so like definitely my personal impression right now has got like the photo showing up to Ino's room and precisely when like Orkime is like even training and was it might my personal impression that it might have to do with like the strange spiritual disturbance that like totally happening right now, and it might have been like totally the intensity of like that spiritual disturbance might be like increasing like each day. And the spiritual disturbance might have precisely started like the moment Ichigo along with like Yorichi might have left to precisely the Soul Society to that get Rokia back. It's definitely my person to remember it. Precisely as they left to like Soul Society, precisely right then itself like Urahara might have processed straight away proceeded on to his like backup plan like seeing like according to Urahara's backup plan, like Urahara totally expecting the remote possibility of maybe that of like maybe Urahara might have only seen like a 50-50 chance of like basically still Ichigo with like all his like half sort of half sort of power played as well. Still Ichigo succeeding in like especially bringing Rukia back with like the Rukia back and that way bringing like the whole Rukia back to like the human world. The possibility of that might be something that maybe even while Yoriki might have placed that absolute trust that Ichigo would be able to do succeed in that exact goal. Like maybe Urahara might have only had like a 50-50 chance, might have only seen like a 50-50 chance in like Ichigo even succeeding in time bringing the whole Ichigo back to like the human world for yeah. So like I'm bring precisely like Urahara might have the moment they left like Urahara might have like started with like backup plan, experimental plan. Definitely my personal observation. According to that backup experiment, like I'm about to bring, which might have definitely like that experiment might have been so extreme that like Urahara might have kept it a secret from everyone, even including like the family of Urahara, that the Jinta and like the other child as well as like just like that front as well. And even after like Yoruchi even returning back, like Urahara certainly might have ensured to like still keep uh, that like secret experiment, like the details about it, like basically about him even performing having performed working on such having worked on such an experiment It's like the moment Orochi left to like the Soul Society, like Urahara might have consciously kept that as secret, and I'm considering it would be precisely the side effects of that experiment of Urahara might be the precise result of like the spiritual disturbance happening in that town of Karakuru is like definitely my uh, Karakuri is definitely my documentary impression. So I'm considering it will be precisely like due to like the side effects of like the secret experiment of Urahara and considering maybe like follow the follows like being able to like sense people with like humans with like high spiritual energy like that sensory capabilities might have increased to the point that basically bowlers might be able to like currently like follow with like the entirety of the spiritual disturbance like currently bowlers might be able to like precisely sense humans with like high spiritual energy precisely while they are sleeping. It's definitely my thought in the generation like bowlers might be able to precisely sense when exactly like the people with like high spiritual energies are precisely sleeping and dreaming. It's definitely not those into temperature. So like I'm considering this might be the reason for like the follow even being able to like even while for him is like dream would be like dreaming, currently sleeping and dreaming about like her brother. I'm also considering like the for him even like seeing like her brother even telling in her dream seeing her brother even telling Orihime that like he knows that Orihime is in her strange like it will probably have to do with like Orihime just being able to like sense or feel that basically that like the it will probably because of like the presence of Hollow already like that dark figure in like the room of Orihime and was the brain would be precisely the Hollow that might have precisely showed up by precisely being aware that like this person with high spiritual energy precisely Orihime is like fast asleep so that like it could like precisely detect sleep of like the people with like high spiritual energy. So like it might have precisely came to like precisely take advantage of that opportunity to like precisely take the life of like Orihime and take Orihime's soul precisely while Orihime is asleep so that like Orihime won't be able to like protect herself. Especially because like so that like at that point Orihime would be totally having her guard down while Orihime would be sleeping and dreaming. So exactly to totally take advantage of that to like quickly attack and try to like take Orpheus soul would be like the precise situation that might be like going on. It's definitely my personal theory impression. So like I was thinking, okay, so like definitely my personal theory impression is that like basically like the follow might even have like the follow in like Orpheus room might even have like the might be like a unique and powerful follow. And I'm considering it would have multiple powers. Like in the first of all, like my personal theory impression is that precisely the reason for like Renji as well as even Ichigo only being able to like sense like a faint spiritual pressure and even though they are able to like instantly detect that it's like the spiritual pressure of or like still like the spiritual pressure precisely being faint we precisely has only have to know like that follow that has showed up in our humans from like precisely maintain trying to like maintain that absolute stealth by hiding its like spiritual pressure as much as possible for it so that like neither for him as well won't be like quickly even during his dreams like for him to avoid the possibility of like him being able to like sense like the whole of spiritual pressure so close to him as well would be like the precise reason for like even hiding it's like attempting to like hide and hiding like basically spiritual pressure to that great extent is also definitely my percentage and stealth would be the precise reason for that. It's definitely my percentage and pressure. So like right now scenario that I'm considering is for like that follow possibly even having like being a unique follow that it possibly would be even having like the power to basically keep a person like contained in that state of sleep if that person is already in that state of in a state of sleep. It's definitely my person to reimbursement. So like right now the scenario that I'm interpreting is that like for him would be like even while being right now being aware that like she is in her dream and that like I'm considering or him even being aware that like so her brother that has only showed up in her dream is like not her actual brother and basically like even while or may would at that point would be badly like feeling that something is like fishy and like suspicious and even though Orihime badly would be attempting and trying really trying to like wake up from her dream and considering precisely Orihime not being able to do that precisely because like this precise follow would have in terms of unique power that would be able to like keep a person contained in a person's sleep if like that person is already asleep. It's definitely my person remember. So like Orne is really trying to wake up from her sleep, but like totally being unable to. do that while like this precise follow would be like perfectly about to like take the soul of the of Orihime. It's like the scenario that I'm also bringing. So like I'm also bringing like the pop would be beginning and like the soul of would be about to like fully steal away like the absorb away like Orihime's soul. But like I'm also bringing before like the process will be complete. Like I'm also bringing precisely it will be precisely Ichigo and Renji. I'm also bringing most likely will be showing up and then considering it will be either Ichigo and Renji or it will be the deadly chat that might be showing up. And if it's chat that's showing that will be showing up first into that was like the room of Orihime, then I'm considering like this follow versus chat fight to be like the initial would be like the fight beginning like it will be like the follow just fight follow the sweetest follow versus chat fight in this like chat even chat will be having like a hard time against this holding his own against like this powerful follow. And at that point, like it would be like removing that all would be removing its like stealth element, and that way, at that point, like basically, it would be like totally having like it's like absolute through physical pressure levels would be revealed at that point, and even Chad would be like intimidated by like exceptionally high levels of physical pressure contained within the hollow. So like I was wondering, Chad like totally struggling to hold his own against like this solo and possibly this solo or even overpowering and about to take Chad's life. Maybe at that last second would be even precisely Renji and Ichigo precisely would be able to like make it to that perfect location and their entrance like perfectly saving Chad from the solo. And then end up the Ichigo to totally struggle against this solo and Ichigo to totally struggle to train to like eventually succeeding in like overpowering and defeating this specific that solo. That's the scenario that I'm considering. And like even through this repeat of the solo, like I'm considering would be how like Ichigo would be like totally eventually finding out about like the current situation that's going on and that basically like currently like photos can actually sense when like people with like high spiritual energies are asleep. So like that much of a situation would be like critical situation would be arising once the Ichigo's fight against Holo would be like over. And Ichigo and Kuro will be finding out about this and Ichigo and Kuro will be like supposedly questioning Urahara at that point. And about the thought about definitely for Ichigo and Kuro, like everyone, Ichigo specifically needs to be like extremely enraged. Ichigo and Renji definitely needs to be like extremely enraged with like Urahara. And yet like Urahara totally doing his absolute best and to totally play it all off as basically as a like it for like the greater good or something. Or like I'm bring Urahara once again keeping on lying and basically possibly tricking Ichigo and Kuro by making some sort of a different lie. It's also like a positive that I'm delivering, but like definitely I'm delivering, even though Urahara might succeed in like tricking Ichigo, definitely Urahara won't be able to like trick Yoruichi because like or Yoruichi would be like knowledgeable enough to be able to like see through Urahara at that point is definitely my consideration. But yet like Urahara would be like somehow succeeding in like manipulating Yoruichi to keep that critical information a secret from Ichigo and Kuro, and that is for like the greater good. And like similar scenarios, what I'm personally role eventually members of the enriched. Okay, so like the cleanup and near enrichment right now as for like the giant door with like skulls like the baby Renji and Ichigo's like seeing and recording that door would be like the percentage pathway door to like the world of horror. So it's definitely not the thing to handle. So like I'm considering two possibilities. Like first possibility is like the like you know less likely possibility that I'm considering, which would be precisely for reason precisely deciding to get revenge by basically targeting the Ryokas and like the first Ryoka that agent targeting being like Orihime and like basically using this like follow to basically bring through this like dark giant door and that would lead into straight away into like the world of follows that basically to target each of like the Ryokas one by one in similar manner and starting with like Orihime might be like that's like one of like the less likely possibility that I'm able to do. So like I'm considering this follow might be like totally being able to like put in the sense that precisely as like Rukia was like asleep, or it might have been a case and that might have been precisely able to like having the exceptional powers right now. The which like you were saying is like a precisely sense even be even from like the world of horror, they might be able to like sense when like precisely the Ryoka's like precisely or Hime was like when she was like asleep, so like he might have precisely ordered like this like minion follow to like this potential follow to like precisely abduct like precisely like keep Rukia in her sleep and basically like that way to like and take the and manipulate her brain into like manipulate like Orihime's brain and that way to make most likely make like Orihime while Orihime would be contained in this like sleep Like that would be like something that Apollo would be having like the power to be able to do, and that way to make Orihime sleep, manipulate Orihime's dream into like making like into taking the form of her brother in her dreams, and basically that way like manipulating Orihime to like make Orihime sleepwalk and get up and walk all the way into like precisely that precise door to that walk all the way to that precise giant door through which like Orihime would be able to like be brought to like the world of follows. So that like at that point, I'm wondering maybe this follow might be like not exceptionally strong or anything. Like it would be genuinely an extremely weak follow. So like I'm wondering this follow, but the plan might be to like get Orihime to enter into like the world of like into through the gates of like the world of follows, and that way be trapped in like the world of follows. So that like at that point like even like the other way of like even crew won't be able to like do anything or attack this precise hollow or defeat this precise hollow and rescue Orpheus. This would be like only like the remotest possibility that I'm looking for. That this would all be according to like the orders of reason is only like a less likely chance that I'm multiplying. Like the more likely chance that I'm multiplying it would be like this exact precise villainous follow like being like extremely, genuinely extremely weak. So that like I'm preparing currently with like all the spiritual disturbance going on, like it being able to like solely due to like the side effects of like that spiritual disturbance, like being able to like this process all or totally acting out on itself and it being able to like sense like the process high spiritual energy of like for him and it being also simultaneously being able to sense precisely when like that basically this person with like the high spiritual energy is in like a sleep state like even it being able to extend that from like the world of follows, like it's also like the scenario that I was like, all happening due to like the side effects of like Kurahara's secret experiment causing like the spiritual disturbance in like Kurahara now. Just definitely members in the range. So like on being able to sense that like this person with high spiritual this constant sleep like it's precisely showing up to the original room and basically containing Orihime in like the sleep like state and trying to manipulate Orihime's dreaming to like make positive plan and we're trying to like make Orihime sleepwalk in and while placing that whole gate to like the world of follows like the right outside the balcony so that like in a sleepwalk state like to get Orihime to like walk through it so that like absolutely so that like it's like mission like that follow mission would be complete because like that follow would be well aware by now that basically if he directly tries to attack or Orchime that basically that maybe that follows even might be actually even weak when compared to like Orchime's current strength itself. So like I'm delivering even attacking Orchime would be a danger would be something that follow would be while Orchime would be in like a weak state would be like something that follow even would be only genuinely aware do we think that it wouldn't be able to like offer and defeat for him if like or him is awake. So like I'm considering and also it might be aware of like the other people with like high spiritual and of these as well nearby. So like I'm considering launching a direct attack on for him like that follow might have realized that it might be like a Polish decision and it would only result in like that follow step. So like I'm considering this might be a strategical way of stealthy approach by that follow by seriously hiding its like spiritual pressure and containing containing Orihime, her dream and basically trying to like manipulate her dream to make her to keep walking and entering into like the gates of like the world of horrors and that way to trap Orihime and then to attack Orihime because like in the world of horrors like all of its like remaining fear follows would be like totally be patiently waiting within directly on the outside of on the other side of like the gates of like the world of horrors like to register straight away attack Orihime together and like basically that way like Orihime that way to like offer Orihime and like attack Orihime's soul might be like the plan. So like the other person is like all this like happening precisely due to like this precise sort of acting out on its own according to its own like strategical plan rather than its attack this attack on Orihime having like absolutely nothing to do with like basic it's like the other possibility and the other possibility that I'm looking at different and other theory and predictions. So like the main talking theory and predictions that like for this current strategical attempt of like the whole of to like most likely get for him to like sleep or into that gate of like into that leads to like the world of all of like basically that strategical attempt of like the current holo and the different will totally fail. And I'm considering it would be precisely in like the next attempt and I'm considering like the next attempt might most likely might be because like the attempt failing and most likely preparing for Ichigo to be able to like totally attack uh prevent Orihime from like entering into like that gate as well as simultaneously attack before like that follow could escape into like that through escape away through that gate follow gates like I was referring it was only being able to like fight it and being able to like overpower and take its life. That was scenario that I'm referring right now. But like I'm referring in the next setup and that will be most likely by another follow would be like most likely doing like making another attempt through this like kind of like similar like strategical like maybe with like a bit of difference like in a similar manner like strategically like another hollow would be like perfectly succeeding in like getting one of like those friends to like pass through to like most likely in like a sleep or like dreaming like state or like maybe even in like a hypnotized state basically in like the future like a hollow like basically succeeding in like getting one of those friends to like pass through like the hollow gate that way and at that point in like the future, like Ichigo won't be able to like make it in time and to stop the front to protect and to stop the hollow and protect itself. So like I'm considering the hollow succeeding only in like the future. It's like the scenario that I'm considering and maybe and that precise person that will be getting trapped uh within like the world of hollows and considering maybe it will be like Tatsuki, definitely my person friend with it. Because like Tatsuki as well definitely have like maybe not even while not having like the special energy to the levels of Orihime, but different still Tatsuki would be like by then you'll be having like already is not Tatsuki have like spiritual energies that are like greater than like normal humans. So about the thing like that spiritual energy of Tatsuki is to eventually rise even more and eventually in the future like Tatsuki precisely made getting targeted by another follow and at that point it would be precisely Tatsuki that would be getting get trapped into like that world of horror. It's like one possibility that I'm considering. It could be either Satsuki or it will be either Karin. Shichigo's sister Karin or like Shichi to have like high special energy. I'm considering it could be either Karin or Tatsuki in like the future that I'm considering to probably get trapped into like totally in a most likely dreamy or like a hypnotized state, like getting entering into like the gates and getting trapped into like the world of Hollow. And at that point, that Ichigo went through setting off to like the world of Hollows to like rescue them. Just at that point, it's like also like the scenario that I'm referring in like for like the future. So like the name of this movie I'm referring right now was like so the kid being totally taken into like the gate through the gates of hell, the world of Hollows. Like I'm referring that being like absolutely convenient for like from Oracle's point of view that would be totally absolutely convenient because like the Orchime trapped in like through the gates of hell in like the world of Hollow like it would be absolutely convenient for precisely Oracle especially because my person there is that especially because like Jason like especially because currently the whole GQ is that something that Orahara so desperately and badly wants is actually with Aizen, and Aizen is currently in like the world of Hollows, and precisely coincidentally, like once Aizen leaving after like precisely without much failure after like Aizen leaving to like the world of Hollows, precisely for or teammates to like precisely get dragged into like and trapped into like the world of Hollows. Precisely that way, like precisely that way, creating that absolute need for like Ichigo to like totally traveling through like the world of Hollows to protect it, to precisely rescue and save Orihime at this time. Precisely, definitely, Urahara might be like the actual villain, and this will be all like things will be all right now. Everything that will be happening will be precisely according to like Urahara's stealthy villainous plan. It's definitely one of the represent, and especially because like one of the three people who have actually even opened like the gates of hell, totally looking like Don Kanoji as well. I'm personally totally think that would genuinely be Don Kanoji. It's definitely not the Kanoji. So like I'm considering precisely while Ichigo, maybe my personal theory is that even from way back itself, like when Don Kanoji was even first revealed itself, like even back then, like Don Kanoji might have been a friend of Urahara that might have been totally working for Urahara or already even from way back. So like I'm considering to for like Urahara to get to study and know about Ichigo a lot more. Ichigo might have precisely sent his like and then Urahara might have only sent his spy, and that spy might have been precisely Don Kenobi. Maybe not just about Ichigo because like Ichigo has like high spiritual pressure, his spiritual unique and exceptional potential of high spiritual energy. Like maybe like Urahara might have been also interested in like Ichigo's siblings as well. So like to study about all of them might be like the also like the possibility or like the precise reason for like Urahara totally sending his spy Sean Kenobi as this like absolute like showman, like as spiritual popular figure, like basically like on the other side, like on one side, like maybe Urahara might have yeah, give all sorts of this like with like Urahara having like a shop, a spiritual shop itself. Like Urahara might have helped Don Kenoji get to like the level of popularity he is in today. Like maybe it might Urahara might have totally played a major role in like Don Kenoji even ending up becoming a celebrity. So also definitely my person character. So that like maybe end up interpreting Urahara might have had like long-term plans, and considering like Urahara might have seen Ichigo for like the first time, like and Urahara might have recognized like that Urahara has like a lot of hidden potential within him. So that like since like even back then like Urahara's ultimate goal was like always like the whole Ichigo, like I'm considering Urahara might have kept an eye on Ichigo even from like way back then. Definitely my percent and relatively by sending like Don Kenoji as like the spy like could potentially study like Ichigo's siblings as well, especially because Ichigo has such exceptional potential hidden within him and high spiritual energy and everything. Like considering Urahara might have taken quite an interest and curiosity towards like Ichigo's siblings as well as to like them possibly having inherited like basically the very same kind of like potential as similar to that of Ichigo, so that like them as well would be like so that at that point like since like, they Ichigo siblings as well will be like totally becoming useful for Urahara according to like Urahara's point of view, like especially because of this reason, like Urahara might have totally like stealthily sent by like Don Kenobi to get friendly with like Ichigo siblings and everything, and hence like the whole Don Kenobi like Karakura alliance episodes and all that might have happened in such a manner is also definitely my considering. So like Don Kenobi might have been deeply hiding Don Kenobi's like true strength and everything is also definitely my considering. My considering is also that like maybe like Ichigo might not even be like the first person on which like Urahara might have even performed his like experimental training of precisely turning a human into like half soul reaper as well as half hollow. It's definitely my personal impression. Maybe like if that experiment and that test might have been initially done on by Urahara on precisely Don Kanoji as well as that two other people, mysterious figures that seem to be on the same thing as Don Kanoji. The villain of Stone Canopy right now is definitely my personal impression. All those three characters, still characters would be and like that laughing girl as well. Like basically they would all be like especially secretly working for Urahara is definitely my personal impression. Like the only thing in Urahara's mind would be to like basically get like the Holy Q back from Aizen to like the human world. And in order to achieve that, like definitely like Urahara would be like uh, would be such an extremely crazy and eccentric character that he would be like willing to go to any extreme villainistic extent to his goal of like bringing like the whole video back to like the human world possible. And that might be exactly what's happening right now with like precisely like that precise girl and my cousin Jeremy mentioned that precise laughing girl along with that Tom Kennedy like basically uh, definitely her being possibly having like the power to even open like the gates of hell. And my cousin Jeremy is also impressive also that maybe like Urahara might have only experimented and might have precisely found maybe it might have not been like through Chicago's like help that basically Urahara might have been able to like back like the past Urahara might have been able to like escape like the soul society and make it to like the human world. It's also a possibility that I'm looking for. Maybe like Urahara might have since like Urahara is like such a brilliant scientist like Urahara himself might have uh, created like his own way to like create his own portal and his own gate to like travel from like the soul society to like the human world in like the past, and that might be how like Urahara might have even came to like escape to like the human world from like soul society in like the past as well. It's also definitely my person to represent. So definitely since like Urahara might be like brilliant enough to create its own path like path through which like to basically escape to basically move from like the soul society to like the human world. Urahara might have also been able to like using his brilliance might have been also been able to like create his own portal like this its own version of a gates of hell through which like a person would be able to like send anyone from like the human world to like the world of hollow. It's definitely my personal interest. So like definitely to be precisely through like the precise gates of hell that Urahara might have created that precise laughing girl might have created that precise gates of hell. We definitely remember the revolution. None of these like basically none of the current situation and none of the basically like or him even being sent to like the gate through the gates of hell. Like none of these things would have any connection or anything to do with like any hollow at all. Just living in like the hollow world at all, or even not at all having any connection to like Ethan at all or he may get trapped in like the world of follows right now would have absolutely no connection to neither Asian nor any follows living in like the world of follows at all. Definitely my personal identity. The only connection it would have would be only have to do with like the extreme violence of like Orahara and Orahara totally and desperately wanting like this situation like with Orihime trapped in like the world of follows like creating that need for like Ichigo to like travel into like the world of follows and so that like I'm also bring Orahara maybe not like expecting like in like the world of follows it Urahara would be totally expecting once like Orihime would be trapped into like the world of follows like straight away Ichigo would be once again seeking the precise exact help of like Urahara once again and at that point Urahara would be precisely getting Ichigo exactly where he wants so that like Urahara would be able to like perform this like maybe next set of experiment on Ichigo before sending Ichigo experimental training on Ichigo to increase Ichigo's powers even more because like Urahara, even Urahara would be well aware as we like basically that basically the world of follows will be filled with like basically exceptionally powerful follows that may that in like the world of follows there will be like follows that will be way more effective stronger than even like squad captain level even than like the squad captain level sword reaper from like the from Serity it's definitely also like a possibility that I'm also differing so I'm both differing like right now there's something like Urahara would be patiently waiting for Ichigo to like firstly show up and meet like Urahara and seek help from Urahara so that like Urahara would be able to do this like next set of like experimental training or power up to give this like next set of like experimental training kind of like power up to Ichigo. And this time it will be not only just on Ichigo, but like Urahara will be doing such kind of like experimental power up there on both Chad as well as like Ishida as well. Definitely Ishida, especially since it's like for him that has like been trapped in like the gates of hell. Definitely Ishida would be going, and definitely Chad since like Chad is such a genuine person, like Chad as well definitely will be like determined to like help and would be totally going. And especially since it's Orihime this time definitely Natsuki as well would be like determined to like basically even though Ichigo and like Ichigo and the others would be like totally desperately like telling Tatsuki that she's simply not strong enough that she would get herself in danger if she even comes to like the world of follows. Uh, Even then, like I was wondering, Tatsuki totally being adamant that basically, especially since it's her best friend or him that's in trouble, like definitely Tatsuki would be adamant about like heading off to like the world of follows. And even while Ishida currently doesn't have like access to his 20 powers as well, and was wondering precisely Urahara, the villain of Urahara once again playing the role of like the savior and precisely performing some sort of like an villain experiment on precisely Kishida as well, which would be threatening in like from Kishida's point of view, it would be only seen as in like Ishida. They would be like Urahara's experiment, Ishida getting back to like people, but like I'm considering Urahara would just definitely doing even more than that villainously. Doing even more than that on Ishida, which will be causing like Ishida not only to get back to 20 power, like something else, like exactly like how like Urahara consciously like might have definitely turned Ichigo into like half Soul Reaper as well as half Solo. I'm considering that some sort of similar situation happening to Ishida as well through Urahara's like billion of experiment on Ishida. It's like Ishida, exactly like Ichigo won't be able to like realize it at that moment, but it will be only in like the distant future that Ishida they're realizing that it was like a conscious billion of experiment done by Urahara on Ishida to get Ishida to have that extreme power upgrade and get a lot stronger while having like a lot of serious side effects for that through that experimental training. It's like scenario that I'm different. So like as for like the process team that will be heading off to like the world of follows to like rescue to precisely rescue or I'm definitely particularly it will be precisely the team of like Ichigo, Chad, Orihime. I mean, like it would be the team of Ichigo, Chad, Ishida, and Tatsuki, and then remembering like Urahara most likely even awakening like the Lord like certain powers and most likely doing experiments that will be raising the powers of Tatsuki as well. It's also like a scenario that I'm going to bring. So it will be Ichigo, Chad, Ishida, Tatsuki, and Renji as well. So definitely be going tagging along and not tagging along, but definitely would be genuinely would have decided to like essentially save and protect Orihime. And of course, different by then, like Rukia as well would be like learning about this news, and Rukia as well would be showing up to precisely help Ichigo and out to protect and rescue Orihime. Because like from Rukia's point of view, it would be like not only from Rukia but also from Renji's point of view as well. It will be totally seeing as it's like it would be like their chance to like repay their debt towards like Ichigo. Especially because Orihime is like Ichigo's good friend, and especially because like they would be like in a way even feeling maybe even feeling guilty that basically of like the possibility that like or they may even being abducted and taken into like trapped in like the gates of hell would be like a consequence of like or he may even or his presence in like the soul society and everything or he may did along with going through like a rescue and everything in like the soul society that might have even possibly spiraled into like currently or he may being hopefully taken and trapped in like the world of follows as well would be along the lines and different in which like both Renji as well as like okay, with the things so like they would be like the hills would be totally formed within them as well as also like a possible scenario that about the difference that so that like at that point definitely to repay the and gratitude towards like Ichigo and all of them to Orihime and all of them like about different definitely Renji as well as Rukia would be totally part of like Ichigo's crew and team that would be heading off to the world of follows to like precisely save Rukia. It's the save or him is definitely member to the language and definitely I'm going to bring like Urahara totally like villainously and secretly totally doing everything to precisely set up like the situation in such a manner that definitely like in like as like Ichigo would be like attempting to heading up to like the world of follows to like precisely only rescue or him like a situation would be formed that where like Ichigo will be having to like face off against Aizen and fight Aizen and like get the Hokage back. That way, get the Hokage back from Aizen. It's like Urahara would be doing his absolute best to like ensure that once Ichigo will be heading up to like the world of follows to save of him and such a situation happens. But still, I'm considering once again things to like totally backfire for Ahara even then at that point especially my person to Emerson but like I'm considering Ichigo's like journey to like the world of follows like eventually resulting in like Ichigo especially succeeding in Ichigo and Group especially succeeding in like saving Orihime and returning back from like the world of follows and considering like most likely like Ichigo might only fight against like in the world of follows Ichigo might this time Ichigo might only be fighting off against like Ichimaru by then but might have like had like up like entering into like the world of horror, sort of like Ichimaru definitely might have had like an exceptional power create somehow. And precisely through that, like I'm considering there will be only like an Ichigo versus like Ichimaru fight in like the world of Apollo. And I'm considering Ichigo maybe not even needing being able to like even meet Ethan at all. And possibly like and definitely I'm considering Ichimaru Ichigo like Ichigo even though Ichigo might defeat like Ichimaru still Ichigo won't be able to like take the life of Ichimaru like the scenario that I was Ichimaru still succeeding in like escaping and Ichigo and Kuro returning back after like rescuing Orihime like returning back with like Orihime to like the human world. And even at that point, like once again, like basically, like Urahara's like hope and like his like villain world would be once again totally backfiring on Urahara. Even at that point, is like the scenario that I'm delivering. And even at that point, Urahara, like by then, like Urahara, like and creating of like having created his like next backup strategy and like Urahara proceeding on the like next villainistic strategy to that trick Ichigo and to basically ensure that Ichigo and Cruz basically gets back like the whole you from like the world of Hollow. So like wherever at that point like by then like where exactly like the Hokage will be present at that point for like we in like perspective or Hara would be planning by then to like basically get to get Ichigo to like basically get the Hokage from back from where exactly the Hokage would be present at that point to like the human world. Like once they achieve that like Hara by then would be making up creating and brings totally creating this next ultimate villainous strategy by then. It's like the scenario that I'm basically totally working towards like the future and definitely members in their interest.